some guys are hanging out in a locker room. I think, and actually this is wrong by what happened by the end, but what I thought was happening was one guy was bragging about the white girl he had fucked. But then one of them got furious and left the room and stormed out. Now, what the guy was talking about was there was a girl he had fucked, but and it may have been a white girl. But more importantly, it was one of this angry man's bitches. And he was upset that someone was fucking around with his broad.
Yes, his broad. He made sure to mention broad repeatedly.
He said broad. So, and before he came out...
It was Rashi Brown.
Yes, before he came out, though, we missed a segment where, and I quote, somebody yells at some guys. Okay. At that point, the angry man, although I just wrote an angry man, because I couldn't tell if this is the same angry man or not, or a different angry man, it was, in fact, Rashi Brown, formerly of Ring of Honor. Mm-hmm. He said he was going to deal with whoever fucked with his broads. For the first time in the entire show, we had a man who could speak. He cut a promo. He was, well, upset that someone had fucked with his broads. He was upset that Rich Ortiz talked to one of his bitches when he wasn't around. Out came the former Ricky Ortiz from SmackDown. He has now cut off all his hair. I think he got some new tattoos, and he calls himself Beast Ortiz.
Beast Ortiz.
Beast Ortiz. In a Street King title qualifier match. Mm-hmm. This was just two big-ass mofos wailing on each other, and ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, they just beat the crap out of each other.
Actually, Brian, what the announcers said was they beat the shit out of each other.
They did.
That was the exact quote, and you know what? They were right.
They beat the shit out of each other.
If you like slobber knockers, this is the match for you.
That's the amazing thing about this match. It's more than just two dudes beating the shit out of each other, because they went up top, and Rich Ortiz, Beast Ortiz, teased superplexing him from the post to the floor. And, of course, Rashi Brown wasn't down with that, and so they had a big battle. And they battled for like a full minute, and it was never boring. They had psychology in this match.
Sure, yes.
And so finally, Rashi speared him out of his boots, and Ortiz took a hilarious bump. And Rashi pinned him, advanced in the tournament, got his fucking money, and defended the honor of his broad.
Yes,
so
yes.
That's the story right there, everybody.
Ain't nothing wrong with this match at all. Big Block came out to talk about money. Homicide yelled at somebody. The Triple C's informed us they are here to get that money. They were named Gunplay, Young Breed, and Torch. The first one, Gunplay, he starts off doing what I think was going to be a Macho Man impression. Then he stopped and he just talked for a while. And then Young Breed spoke. Young Breed is, if you ever watched King of the Hill, Young Breed is UWF's answer to Boom Hour, a man who cannot speak at all. And Torch said some stuff. Homicide cut a promo at night under the Brooklyn Bridge.
This was an awesome promo.
He talked about his houses across the country and his bitches.
Yes.
Did I miss anything there?
No. I just loved every moment of this.
Homicide is great.
He wanted to introduce us to the Brooklyn Bridge because he lived in the best city in the country. And he talked about how he had houses in L.A. and in down south, he said, even New York. And he had bitches.
Yeah.
Then we had Kingston.
Eddie Kingston was getting drunk somewhere. And I mean that by which he was cutting a promo.
He's been drinking ever since he lost to Homicide in the last show. He's
getting drunk somewhere right now, too.
Yeah.
Yes, the gimmick is he lost to Homicide, and he is not over it. He's not dealing with this well. And he said Homicide had advanced in the tournament, and I believe he said that he was going to take Homicide out.
I know he said that he had been ready to die since age 14, so it didn't matter if Homicide was threatening him. Mm-hmm. He said since the first day his mother put him out of her fucking womb, he'd been hopeless. I've been hopeless for years. I don't care. And I believe he claimed he owned a building, and that's how he made his money, and he was still drinking.
Yeah. The cameraman tried to cut him off. He wasn't having none of this. And then we got the end. Somebody was screaming his way down an alley. Actually, the first part of this was awesome. There's this guy. He's screaming down an alley. He is calling somebody out. He clearly wants to fight. Then somebody comes up to attack him, to his face, mind you. He's there to fight, and he just... The first guy we saw screaming, acting all tough.
Low-life Louis Ramos.
That's who it was?
Yes.
Isn't he the guy who got stabbed with a fork in the last show? Yes. Yes. Well, he did not get stabbed with a fork here, but he just got a public ass whipping.
By Murda One.
How do you know?
I was paying attention.
It's fascinating.
Murda One and Low-Life Louie had a brawl in an alley, and it went on a long-ass time, and it was very brutal. They used razor wire.
Yes, they were, and if they had just grabbed barbed wire like a gravity strand of barbed wire, I might have assumed this was fake. This was shot in a real alley in New York next to a real chain link fence with what I assume was real razor wire.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're insane. And Louis, his gimmick is that he mutilates himself on a regular basis.
Yes.
Which is what happened here. And so Murda beat the shit out of him, as the announcer said, and caused him to bleed profusely. And then Louis made a comeback, sent him into the fence. Murda gigged. And then Louis put a plastic bag over his head to kill him.
Right.
And he was screaming, and I quote, "I'll kill ya, I'll kill ya." And then the screen froze, and the show's over. So last time, we saw a shooting, and this time, I think we saw one guy kill another guy with a plastic bag. But I'm not sure yet. We'll have to wait till the next show.
That's the UWF, everybody.
That was some hood justice right there with that bag.
I suppose.